Well,
Good. All right, so I was able to ask Evan about last year's final game, but I haven't been able to ask you to. So first, I want to ask, clock hits 0, your season's over, you're what was it, a touchdown, I think, or one possession away from a Final Four appearance. How does that make you feel in this current moment leading up to week 1?
A good question.
Angry. Should have won that.
Yeah.
Should have won that game. I mean, ended in a sad way. I mean, that play could have worked. But, sometimes things don't go your way in the football game.
Yep.
I don't want to. Can't harp on it too much. This year, just clear your mindset. Just try to get back into that same position to win and go to the Final Four this year.
That's okay.
Yeah, it was definitely one of the most aggravating parts of the season. It worked so many times throughout the season. For it to not work the one time most important part of the season definitely hurt.
Yeah.
And then, and then with 19 seniors graduating last year, obviously you guys are filling into these leadership roles. Like, how's that been so far early in the season?
Pretty tough. We got to find a lot of younger guys this year because we only have around 15 seniors. Some that still played JV last year, not a lot of experience on it. These scrimmage really kind of woke them up because they haven't seen really how fast the play style is compared to some of us coming back this year. We have a couple sophomores that are filling in. Not many of them, though. I mean, we got 2 special kids that are out there. That's about all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Good.
And then, so you guys just had a scrimmage at Granville, right?
Bishop Watterson.
Where was it?
Washington.
We were at
Okay.
Watterson.
Yeah.
But Granville was at our house.
Yes.
Granville was at you guys. Okay.
Yes, Granville was the week before.
Just tell me about those scrimmages, like what you've seen from your team so far.
So we've definitely seen how much people need to step up as well, because there was huge shoes that need to be filled. Especially the younger guys stepping up. It's kind of a little bit of a wake up call going up against 2 great teams like that. So it's definitely a good way for them to break into and get used to the speed of the game.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You talked about the frustration with how last year ended, carrying that into the off season, and as well as teaching the younger kids. What kind of things have you harped on to try and prepare them for what you want to do as a team? Kind of getting them up to pace with how things work and what your mission is. What kind of things have you been doing to try and get them there?
Tell them to get physical. Those guys, they got to learn. You got to get off blocks. You got to go. They're not physical enough, and I've been harping each one every week. I mean, at practice, we don't really hit that much. I like to hit, of course, but some of these guys don't. They don't seem like they want to step up and hit someone, especially our flats right now. I mean, they're 2 great players, but I mean, we got to get off blocks out there, especially. They're 2 smaller guys going up against some pretty big tight ends half the time, but still, we expect them to get off the blocks.
Would you say that's probably not the most important part, but that's a big factor in your guys' success this season?
Yes, definitely. Like in the past 2 weeks, especially, Coach Culver just been harping block destruction, block destruction, block destruction. Destroy your blocks, and then you create chaos.
Yeah, I was going to go back to we obviously talked about the playoff game at the end of last year, but then there have been 1-score playoff games that you guys lost each of the last 4 years. Just what do you take from those games, and how does that motivate you for the next season to make sure that you're not losing against those?
So it's definitely, because once again, so close. It's like getting silver in the Olympics. You work all off season just to lose by 5 yards, 10 yards. It definitely makes you work harder, drive, and makes you push other people hard as well. Just so you can't get that extra 5 yards, that extra step, and it's just kind of. and it's just kind of just an extra motivation to get farther.
And then you guys, week 1, you guys have a solid opponent in Licking Valley. Looking at that matchup, what do you see? What are you excited for? What are you preparing for in that matchup?
They run a lot of stretch and power plays. I've watched quite a bit of their film. They got a younger quarterback in there. Last year's guy was pretty good. They just graduated one of their. He was their top player. They got a good running back this year. I feel like we could stop them. Defensive line, their defensive line is good. Just I feel like if we be physical against them, we will dominate them up front. More of a flat team. They run to the flats a lot on the pass plays. Not much up the seam, but they are also playing Maysville and who else? Utica in their scrimmages, and they don't run exactly the same offense as us. Defense as us, my bad. So I'm not too concerned about it if we get off blocks and again get into our flat zones, get into our zones, just be there.
So
They run a lot of levels too,
Mm-hmm.
and quick outs and sticks, and I think our secondary is good enough to cover that. I'm very confident in our secondary.
And then, Jack, a personal question for you. You've had a lot of, college recruitment in the off season, a lot of stuff been going on with that. I've been looking on Twitter, just scrolling all the, books and stuff like that. What has that process been like? Can you just go into that a little bit?
Yeah, so the process it's definitely long and it's frustrating at times, especially with all the laws you have to follow, dead weeks, and you have to be very careful and very, very patient because it can be very frustrating. And if you want to jump in it, especially late, it's very difficult to get it going right away. It's easier if you start early and then keep going on. Most definitely.
Meg?
So you guys are in Division 3, Region 11, which is probably I would argue one of the hardest divisions to be in. You probably have like 8 to 9 really, really good teams. So when you go up against teams like Tri-Valley, Watershed, Bloom Carroll, what's your thought process going into those? How do you handle the stress? There's a lot on the line.
I really, honestly, don't get too nervous before games. Because there's just another player across from you. You believe the same thing every time.
Yeah, our mindset before each and every game is always the same. It's never different. I mean, we obviously know that we have tougher opponents and matchups, but it doesn't matter. Like, we're still gonna give you like our best players and plays at each and every game.
Do you think the younger guys have kind of adopted that pretty well? That mindset?
Some, yes. Some have adopted it. Some just seem like they don't want to be there too much. But a lot of them, yes.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them came out and really stepped up into a position that, we lost Munyon, AJ, Bryson, a lot of top seniors that played really well, especially our quarterback, Caden. Just younger guys that know they have to fill those shoes and they have to fill them quick.
Yeah, then going into the offense a little bit, we know that Tice and Logan are competing for a QB spot. Has there been any word on that, or is it nothing yet?
Nothing yet. I really couldn't tell you too much about that situation because, they could do what Reed and Cade did. Because, we got one really strong thrower and one pretty good runner. Yeah. We haven't really got an answer to who's going to be really out there the most.
Mm-hmm. They're both like really good quarterbacks, and like I know I'll feel comfortable with like whoever's out there, but I'm excited for however we do this.
Yeah, absolutely. Evan, as a wide receiver, like, are you like totally comfortable? You're totally comfortable with both, and are you kind of thinking like either decision is a good one?
Oh yeah, 100%. I trust both those guys that they'll get me the ball and they'll make the right reads and stuff. I'm very confident.
Just another part of that, though, is Huppy is going to be a big factor on our defense this year, so he will have to have rotation probably. So
Makes sense. Yeah.
Jack, losing Cole Davis on the offensive line from last year, what did you learn from him over the course of your time being with him that you can now apply as that senior anchor on the offensive line?
Yeah, so me and Cole we've always been friends since, gosh, probably kindergarten, preschool. So we've always kind of been there together. And the big thing he's taught me is when I need to get moving, he's gonna let me know I gotta get moving. So that's another thing too, because we got a new guard in, and I'm trying to get him to get moving when he has to, especially on the plays where he has to pull and how to pull and kick out.
Awesome. All right, thank you guys.